Hello, today we're going to discuss photosynthesis and cellular respiration. First, before we get into those two processes, we need to discuss some of the key differences between plant cells versus animal cells. Here we have three organelles, which essentially just means tiny organs. So it's like our bodies have organs, cells also have organs, and we call those organelles. So in both plant and animal cells, they each have a nucleus, and inside that's where the DNA is at. Both plant cells and animal cells have a mitochondria. That's where the process of cellular respiration happens. And then plant cells have chloroplasts. That's where the process of photosynthesis happens. So here are some dictionary definitions of all of those organelles, as well as photosynthesis and cellular respiration. I'll let you pause this video and read those at your leisure. So here is the equation for photosynthesis. So you have a plant or some other cell or bacteria that can do photosynthesis. What goes in is carbon dioxide, water, and then with the help of sunlight or solar energy, out comes glucose, which is just a scientific word for sugar or food, and oxygen. So again, what goes in, carbon dioxide, water, then with the help of sunlight, out comes glucose and oxygen. Cellular respiration is a different process. So here we have glucose, again, food or sugar, plus oxygen that goes into the mitochondria of a cell, and then out comes carbon dioxide, water, and ATP. So ATP is a molecule called adenosine triphosphate, and when that molecule is broken, energy is extracted from that molecule. And that's essentially how all the cells and any living thing function, if they need energy to do processes. Now, this is a really important part because this shows how photosynthesis and cellular respiration are related to one another. So going from left to right, that is the process of cellular respiration. So that is food or glucose, again, going in with oxygen to a mitochondria. Cellular respiration happens, out comes carbon dioxide, water, and that ATP molecule, which is the thing broken to get energy. And that is the entire process of cellular respiration. Now what's interesting is if we look going now from right to left, we have the equation for photosynthesis. So it's carbon dioxide and water goes into a chloroplast. That's where photosynthesis happens with the help of sunlight, and then out comes oxygen and glucose. Then that same oxygen and glucose can go into a mitochondria, where it then does cellular respiration, and out comes carbon dioxide, water, and that ATP molecule. And then back into the chloroplast, it can go carbon dioxide and water, and then out comes oxygen and glucose, and so on and so on and so on. So a lot of chemistry-focused people will look at this equation and see just this movement of back and forth. For most people, though, including myself, it is easier to view photosynthesis and cellular respiration as a cycle. So the same points that I made in that equation image is what's happening here. You again have glucose and oxygen going into or coming out, going into a mitochondria or coming out of the chloroplast, and then the water and carbon dioxide that comes out of the mitochondria can also go into a chloroplast. And then chemical energy, again, that's the ATP that's broken to get the energy, and light energy is the sun. Now, what's interesting is because plants have both chloroplasts and mitochondria, they can do this entire cycle on their own. I spoke in the carbon cycle lesson about how plants also release carbon dioxide. Well, this is how. It's because they also have mitochondria. And Easy way to remember is that chloroplast or photosynthesis, that's always how you get food, and mitochondria or cellular respiration is what breaks down the food to get energy. So living things need both food and energy to survive. Plants can do that whole cycle on their own because they have chloroplasts. People and animals, though, we can only do cellular respiration. So the only way we're able to get glucose is to consume other living things. That's the only way we get glucose. Because we don't have chloroplasts, that's how we have to do it. Now, as I described also in that carbon cycle lesson, plants do either photosynthesis or cellular respiration more depending on what resources or which kind of gas is more present. So if there's more carbon dioxide gas present, plants are going to do photosynthesis more because they have more carbon dioxide and vice versa. Now, since animals, humans too, we only do cellular respiration, that means we are only releasing carbon dioxide gas. So we're putting more carbon dioxide gas out into the atmosphere, which means plants have to do more photosynthesis to give more oxygen, which then animals also share and basically use the excess oxygen that comes off the plants for us to be able to do our own cellular respiration process. So again, while plants can do that whole cycle on their own, we also have a cross-species, cross-organism dependence on the cycle and using the excess oxygen that comes off plants when they do photosynthesis. Thank you for watching. Please share and subscribe, and remember to spread